Failure was not an option.
Yeah.
When your family depends on it, dude, you got to make it happen. Because you don't have to have all the right answers.
Preach.
Man, my team, they know that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know it. I absolutely don't know it, but we're going to find out together.
Yeah.
That phrase is so important in every aspect of life. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if it's your family. I don't care if it's your work. It doesn't matter. If you are failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail.
You're listening to the Limitless Leadership Podcast, the podcast designed to help automotive repair shops learn how to lead, coach, train, and manage their team better by sharing proven techniques and thought-provoking interviews from industry leaders. Are you ready to transform your leadership skills by tapping into unrecognized potential to achieve limitless results? Let's get ready for liftoff. It's time to go from great to greater. Here's today's episode.
All right, folks, as you know, great leadership isn't about doing everything the best. It's actually about having the right partners in your corner to build your shop's success. It's about putting the right team in place. It's about choosing the right vendors to make you a pro, making pro moves. And when I think about the pros, I think about shop marketing pros. The know, like, and trust factor, that's a real thing. And Shop Marketing Pros understands that. That's why I want to recommend Shop Marketing Pros to become your marketing partner in your shop. They get to know, like, and trust you and your business to then help your audience get to know, like, and trust you too, and bring your shop to the next level. So when I talk about making pro moves, this is the kind of move I'm talking about. This is the kind of standard-setting partnership that's going to elevate your shop. So if you're ready to become a pro in your shop, visit shopmarketingpros.com and partner with the best. All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Limitless Leadership Podcast. My name is Josh Parnell, and we are live on site at the 2025 ASTA Expo, right smack dab in the middle of the trade show right now.
Yes.
And I'm joined by some incredible friends of mine who have really, quite honestly, become more like family to me. And before I introduce them, I'm going to remind you to like, comment, subscribe, share all the things you need to do on social media. Help this podcast reach people and build leaders, because that, of course, is our mission, to reach people and build leaders. Speaking of leaders, I'm looking at two leaders right in front of me, my friends, Benji and Kristy Burris, owners of Frog Pond Performance in North Carolina. Burris fam, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having us.
Absolutely. Honored.
Yes.
The honor and privilege is mine, my friend. I'm so glad y'all are here. Excited for this audience to get to know you. I think a lot of this audience does already know you, or at least knows of you. But for those of you who are listening who don't know Benji and Kristy, if you would, share with the audience who you are, what you do, and how you do it.
So my name's Benji Burris. Got into the automotive industry at a very young age, 13 years old. I've told the story many times. I wanted to buy a horse. My parents said, if you want a horse, get a job. I got a job at a little two-bay service station. Worked there for 17 years. Started my freshman year of high school and was there for 17 years. That's where I met my wife at. We joked, the horse turned into a truck. The truck turned into a wife. The wife turned into kids, and it's all been downhill from there. So there's no turning back. So.
Yeah.
But we've always been right in the community of Frog Pond, North Carolina. We are out in the sticks, and we love it. We love it.
That's incredible. Kristy, anything to add to that?
So we've been married 26 years. Yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday was our anniversary. And when we started out, it was definitely tough. Mm-hmm. He worked really hard to start the business, especially after coming out of what he said for 17 years, a complete change in building the business. And at that point in time, I am a teacher, so I worked obviously in the classroom, and it was really hard trying to support him to build the business up and raise the kids. Mm-hmm. It was a lot and very stressful, but we continue to have the mindset that failure is not an option. Mm-hmm. We will be successful. We may strangle each other, but we will be successful. And through that, I guess when you look back, you're very humbled.
Yeah.
By thinking back to all of the weaknesses that you have to go through and all of the people who help you along the way to build up. And so you have to continue doing that.
Yeah.
That's, I think, what's gotten him in the business to where he is today. And Mom, technically not. I don't like to give myself credit and say that I help, but I have helped.
Absolutely.
Christy, you definitely helped. I can tell you, I met you guys really not that long ago. I mean, it was this year, earlier in April, at the Fueling Connections event that ASTA put on in Mooresville, North Carolina. And Cody and Callie, your son and daughter, were there in attendance as well. Thoroughly impressed by the entire family. I remember pulling both of you aside individually and said, "Hey, like, you guys are awesome."
Thank you.
I just, again, thoroughly impressed. Benji, you talked about the word community. You said community earlier, and I see both of you really adopting this community, this network, this relationship type of mindset that I know has really been the heartbeat of the culture at your shop. But before I get into that, because I want to revisit this here soon, but Christy, you just touched on, y'all have gone through a lot, but you've grown through a lot.
Right.
And you're now in a place, in a season of life where you can take a breath and reflect and look back and think about and remember all the things that you went through and grew through. And I'm sure there was a lot of times where maybe there was some situations or challenges where it's like, how are we going to get through this? It's difficult, it's challenging, and sometimes you have this tunnel vision and you can't see the forest through the trees. I'm going to ask for either one of you or both of you to speak to the listening audience right now. Someone is going through something very similar to what y'all went through years ago, and someone is struggling right now with seeing the forest through the trees and knowing that this is maybe the season of grind and the season of sacrifice and the season of questioning things and confusion, but knowing that there is growth on the other side of their comfort and their fears. Speak to the listening audience who is going through something right now. Just what advice would you give to someone like that? Hey folks, running an auto repair shop, it's tough. We know that. And between managing repairs, keeping customers happy, and handling front office tasks, there's never enough time in the day. That's where Hub Shop Solutions comes in. Hub takes the burden off your team by building fast, accurate repair estimates and handling extended warranties, so you can focus on what really matters, running a profitable, efficient shop. With Hub, you free up your team, you boost efficiency, and you increase profits. So sign up now and get free onboarding. Visit hubshopsolutions.com to schedule a demo today. Hub Shop Solutions. Unlock your shop's full potential.
I would say set goals.
Okay.
And, a lot of people say make sure that you always set goals that are somewhat reachable. But I say step out of that comfort zone just a little bit. A lot of people set goals, but they set goals that are going to take a really long time to reach. A really long time in this industry is different for everybody. Mm-hmm. But I think if you can break things down and create smaller goals, they don't seem nearly as unreachable. And what can be your year-long goal, really and truly, you break it into to 3 months, break it into quarters.
Yeah.
It seems more reachable, and you don't feel like you're overwhelmed if you don't quite get there at 3 months, like you would be very disgusted if you didn't get there at the year.
Yeah.
Right? You step back and punt. I think there were a lot of times, especially when we first got married, where we were like, oh my gosh, we can't afford to do X, Y, and Z. You want this equipment and you can't buy it, but you don't want to buy equipment that's subpar because then it's going to end up costing you. And it's like, man, we were eating a lot of tuna just so that we could build things back up. Now, tuna's expensive today, but it was not then. he jokes about all of our tuna that we had to eat. But you do become overwhelmed. And Absolutely. When you get overwhelmed, sometimes you get frustrated with your spouse first. And I know a lot of people go through that. We hear it all the time. They're like, oh my gosh, how have y'all made it 26 years and not killed each other? Well, we might have a couple times, but at the end of the day, you have to work as a team.
Yeah.
And the one thing I would say is surround yourself with people who want you to be successful.
Yes.
Not because they're looking to keep you from quite being where they are so that you're always a step behind, but just somebody that celebrates your successes no matter what. Mm-hmm. And that they push you even when you're having a bad day or having a bad week or you don't reach your goals and all the things. Just make sure that you stay focused and do the right things.
I think when I look back on it, I look at the start, and failure was not an option. I mean, it really wasn't, because, Christy had just started teaching. We had 3 small children. We had bills. Dude, it was literally daylight to dark and then some. There was so many days where I would come home and family is very important to us. So we've always eat supper together as a family. So there would be a lot of nights that I would come home, eat supper, and then go right back to work. And I mean, it would be 1, 2 o'clock in the morning working, and then we was right back doing it again at 6:30 the next morning. So we didn't have failure was not an option. When your family depends on it, dude, you got to make it happen. But like Christy said, that makes it so tough. I said yesterday that throughout the years she has loved the unlovable. Now there's times that we might fight and fuss, but dude, she's always had my back. She's always been there, and now our family is so involved in the business as well, and we want to see it continue to grow. People ask all the time, when you open up the next location? We're not. That's not what we want. We want to be the very best at the one location that we have. We want to keep it in the family. Keep it small enough. But now we have multiple other families who depend on the business as well, and we take a lot of pride in that. But I've said before, it's a level of stress when you know that your family depends on you to survive. But you talk about a whole nother level of stress when you've got 2, 3, 4, 5 other families. That can get really tough. I mean, we are at a good point now, but it wasn't that long ago that, dude, struggle was real. Struggle was real.
I'm convinced that the people who are the most successful in life are the ones who simply don't quit. They are resilient. They are persistent. They understand that this is something that we're going to go through, but we're going to grow through, and that's what I'm hearing you say. And I also want to highlight and honor you for a moment. And Benji, you just touched on something that I think is very important. You talked about how family is very important for both of you, and we see this. We being just the community, the industry, the folks who know you and know you well, we see how tight-knit your family is, and it's a beautiful thing to watch. I mean, as a father of 4, and my kids are, oldest is 14, youngest is 9, and it's hard. Like, with 4 kids between the ages of 14 and 9, what we're going through, and someone's got a mood, someone's got an attitude at all given time, and we got a lot going on. But you said something I really love. We had supper together every night. Without fail. To me, like, as a leadership coach and a leadership trainer, something I touch on quite often, you guys know this, the importance of one-on-ones, having one-on-ones with your team members. And what I share with folks is, you put that one-on-one on the calendar, and it is firm, it is concrete. You don't fit in a one-on-one when it's convenient. You put it on the calendar and you have it, and you don't show up late for it, you don't cancel it, you don't postpone it, you don't move it, you have your one-on-one. Because at the end of the day, people don't care how much you know until they know how much you care. And we get to create safety and trust so that we can provide clarity and direction. And the moment we put off a one-on-one for a team member who wants their voice to be heard, who wants to know their opinions matter and their ideas are considered, the moment we punt that one-on-one, what does that say about that person? So to me, I equate exactly what you just shared, having supper together with your family, with a one-on-one. It was firm, it was concrete, and guess what? Now you're seeing the fruits of your labor. Now you're seeing the reward because you made it a point. And if it meant that you got to go to dinner, go to supper. So I'm from Texas. Y'all are deep south. Like, deep south calls it supper.
We call it supper.
Texans call it dinner. You know what's interesting? My parents call it supper too. That's New Orleans right there. but anyway, but you have supper, and then you go right back to work. And what you could have done, what the easiest thing to do is to just work right through it. And eventually you'll have supper together one day when you can fit it in. But that's not the way to do it. And now we see how tight your family is. So I want to give you props for that.
Yes,
that's amazing.
Thank you. That was our non-negotiable. And there's no devices. We don't have devices.
We will not allow phones at the supper table.
Nope.
We're not going to do it. And as you know, with teenagers, it can cause a little bit of friction, but you smack them phones out of the hands enough times, and they'll learn real quick. No, we're just,
and even now as adults,
they
don't bring their phone.
Yeah.
So Cody's 25 years old, and I mean we still eat together quite a bit, and the rule has not changed. No. When we sit down to eat supper together, you're not going to be sitting over there on your phone.
Yeah,
period.
That's awesome. So, and you mentioned that the family's in the business now as well.
Yep.
So Cody's your service manager.
Yep.
Callie Grace is your marketing guru.
Marketing and social media.
Okay, and Callie's 20 now.
Callie's 19.
19.
Almost
okay.
19.
So, but here's what's. I mean, both of your all three of your children. So, because Caleb is not in the business, but Caleb's your other son. Callie is 19, and she led a class at the ASTA Expo yesterday, which is incredible. Yeah. She is great at what she does. So for our listening audience, here's something I want to share. Just because we're talking about the supper table, the dinner table, whatever you want to call it. Here's what we do with our kids, because I like the fact that phones are not allowed at the table. We play a game called High-Low Buffalo. And by the way, what I'm about to share with the audience, you can do this with your kids at the table, but you can also do this with your team during daily huddles. Notice the word daily. You're not just having huddles every once in a while. You're having daily huddles. High-Low Buffalo is a fun way to create engagement. And this is important because connection creates engagement, and engagement increases performance. So the game is called High-Low Buffalo. And the way it works is we go around the table, and we'll ask each person to share their high of the day from yesterday, the high of the day. So, hey, what was the best part of today? What was the high of today? We're also going to say what was the lowest part of the day? Like, what was the worst part of the day? Because it's really all about perspective. And we know that not every day is going to be a good day, but we can still find the good in every day. So we're going to talk about the high and the low. And here's the engaging piece. Here's the fun piece. The buffalo is the weirdest, wildest, craziest thing that happened that day. That is a massive conversation starter.
Yep. That's cute.
It gets people laughing. It gets people talking. So we do that at the table for dinner, but we also do this. But teams can also do this at their daily huddles. Mm-hmm. I'm curious. Do y'all have any kind of tradition or any kind of supper table tradition that y'all do there?
Well, we pray every night when we eat.
Yeah. Okay.
What other traditions do we really have? I don't know. I just feel like that's our... If you came to eat supper with us, you would probably be shocked because we don't have like the traditional, the traditional family meal. That's our cut-up time.
Yeah.
I mean, I hate to say it, but like there's no telling what might come out of somebody's mouth.
Our boys are 17 months apart.
Okay.
And
it's
the
hilarious.
Things that are said at our table
might make some people blush.
Yeah, my granny would probably smack me away from the table. But that's us.
Yeah, and our kids, like, I know that there are a lot of children, and this is good for parents to hear too, because I'm speaking from a parent standpoint and a teacher standpoint.
Yeah.
There are a lot of kids who are petrified to tell their parents things. And I honestly never felt like our kids were petrified to tell us anything. Like sometimes they would tell us stuff, and I remember thinking, oh my gosh, I wish they hadn't told me that. Or I would have never told my mom and dad that. And my mom and dad were very supportive, don't get me wrong. It's not like I feared them, but I think our kids are just almost insanely open with us about things and always have been.
Yeah.
But I think the fact that dinner time is supposed to be what people envision as, structured time, and we never made it overly structured, that's that time where they felt comfortable with whatever we needed or wanted to come out of their mouth, or, if one of them maybe had a little bit of a secret about another one but felt like mom and dad needed to know, maybe they would nonchalantly give a hint, and then another one would give a hint, and then the third one's either crying or laughing, and then from there you get things out of them. I think that time is just a golden opportunity. It doesn't have to be, X, Y, or Z. It doesn't have to be this quiet time or this structured time or your fork's got to be perfect on your plate or, what a lot of people were raised in. It's got to be whatever is comfortable for your family and what works for your family.
And that past 20 plus years has allowed us to grow into what we have now.
Yeah.
Our children they're out of the house now, but they're always back at our house. I had the honor of being my son's best man. I mean, Cody's got a lot of friends, but he asked Dad to be his best man.
How amazing is that?
And that was awesome.
Yeah.
That was awesome. So
That's
we
incredible.
talk about our highs and our lows
Yeah,
and the
we
goods
do.
and the bads. And we have always done that whenever we needed to, but I really feel like it comes out more over that supper table.
Yep.
I think the best ability for a leader is availability. And what I see in both of you is your willingness to just serve. You lead people through servant leadership. You being, like, specifically, you, Benji, and you, Christy, I see this regularly in both of you. And you make yourself available. And Benji, you've especially with me, you're like, man, reach out anytime. And I'm like, man, I don't want to bug this guy. But like, man, like, you've really become like, when I say become like family, it's been amazing. And so I appreciate you for that. But when you talk about how your kids are willing to share anything with you, I go back and think about how y'all have done a fantastic job of creating safety and trust in your marriage, in your family, in your relationship with your guest, so that you can provide clarity and direction. So people they're not going to shy away from being open with you because you're available for them. And we connect through authenticity, humility, and vulnerability. And that's what I see in both of you. And that's why so many people around our industry love you. And the impact that you're making is no surprise. It's no surprise to anybody because y'all are great people. Y'all are great at what you do. And we see it in your kids now too. And it's awesome to see.
Community outreach is a huge thing for us, but I will also say this. I think that sometimes people think community outreach, you have to look for, special organizations or special groups or all that. Community outreach for us literally is more like our kids' best friends, our kids' buddies, our kids' this, and some of them grew up without parents or without, stable homes or without different things, and they are our kids.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, oh, you did this for such and such in the community. No, man, we did that for our kid. They're not our kid, but they are our kids. So community outreach doesn't have to be something that gets you accolades. Just look at what needs to be done and who needs help and who you can support and who you can build up.
You want to talk about something really humbling. So most people know that I've got to volunteer with the Boy Scouts of America for years and years. Both of our boys are Eagle Scouts, which is the highest rank that you can get through the Scouts. So I've been involved with a lot of kids and Christy as well. But we have so many young adults to this day that come to our house, that eat with us, that spend time with us, that call us Ma and Pa. And it just, dude, it warms your heart.
Yeah,
I mean, because there's a couple in particular that I'd like to think we did have a little impact on them, because there's some that were headed down the wrong road, and now, I mean, man, they're good kids. And I'm not saying we did that, but I would like to think that maybe we helped a little bit.
Yeah,
and it feels good.
Absolutely,
it feels good.
Well, you always have an opportunity in life. You can either help lead somebody in the right path, or you can help lead them on the wrong path.
Yeah.
That's right.
And the worst thing you can do is watch them without opening your
Without
mouth,
trying.
and without trying to do anything.
Well said.
So you've got a choice to make. You can't just let it go. But a couple of them, they have kids now. They have babies.
Yep. And now we get to
keep them.
Yeah, we babysit babies for bonus children now.
I love that.
That's
I love
great.
that. Christy, I'll ask you, because you're a teacher. Former teacher?
Technically, I'm certified, but I've been out for a little while.
Okay.
Just,
So, but with a teaching background, a lot of experience as a teacher.
Yes.
How has your experience as a teacher helped you in the role that you play at the shop?
I think one of the biggest things, and this is something we actually have just implemented within the past year, is really looking at what you can do to build a team. And like Benji's biggest thing, and he's really good at this, is he will tell you his job now is to support his team, period. No matter what. It's their job to build up customers and support customers. It's his job to build the team. So really building that shop culture. And for me, when I look at a group of people, I feel like you have to figure out how to empower them by teaching them how to empower themselves, but providing them with opportunities. So we started doing something that within a school system, you do something similar to this, but I took what I learned there and didn't like and tweaked it. And we sat down and talked about what we could do to help not just our technicians, but all of our employees, including our son and including ourselves, to really build up themselves with things that were important to them by setting goals and supporting those goals. And they're not just shop related goals.
No.
They're life goals. Because if you're helping somebody meet their life goals, then you're empowering them. And by empowering them, you're building a person. You're improving your shop culture. So it's like a domino effect. We created something, independent growth plan, individual development plan, professional development plan. You can call it whatever you want to call it. In our shop, we call it an individual development plan, or an IDP. And it's where we sit down with them and we talk about things that they would like to do to build up themselves. You know, short-term goals, and then maybe longer-term goals, and what we can do to break those down. For some of them, it's, hey, I want to, improve with alignments, or I want to improve learning the picoscope. For other ones, it's, hey, I want to save so much money in a year, And then we sit down and literally talk as a group, a group, the three of us, he and Benji and I and the
whichever one it is.
Whichever one it is. What can we do to get you there? Is it something that we need to provide? And if it is, we're going to put it on paper. Because until you put it on paper,
That's right.
it's not true.
That's right.
It's not written down, it's a lie.
Yeah. That's how we ensure that everybody's doing their part. Hey, this was your goal that you picked.
Yeah.
This is what you told us you needed us to do to help you get there. And then we touch base every so often with, what are you doing to reach it? What are we doing well? What do we need to continue to do so
like
that we
that.
can get to that goal? And I'm going to tell you, the first time we sat down to do it, they were like, oh my God, this is like so hard. This is so ridiculous. They're overthinking it because they've never been provided an opportunity.
They've never been asked,
to do
right?
that. And I don't understand why. This is a profession full of professionals.
Yes.
But they don't always view themselves that way. And we've got to teach them to have the mindset of, you are an expert in your field.
Yeah.
You are a professional. Yeah. You should set goals. You should have an employer that helps you work hard to get those goals reached. And if not, then we're all failing and we're not building that culture that we want.
If you're part of a great culture, you begin to shift your own mindset and perspective and paradigm that this is not a job for me, this is a career. Like, this can be a career for me because of the leadership that Benji and Christy are providing. They're giving me an IDP. They're giving me an individual development plan so that I can share with them what my desires, what my dreams, what my goals are. I don't want to glaze over the fact that you were talking about, you're asking them what they want to achieve. It's not what you want them to do for your shop.
No.
It's what they want to achieve. And when you put it on paper, you actually have you increase your chance of achieving your goal by 42% just by putting it on paper. And so being able to ask them the questions and help them furthermore evaluate it a few weeks later, or whatever that cadence looks like. Because if they want to achieve something in a year, I like the fact that you're not just going to wait a year from now and say, hey, how'd you do that? You're touching base regularly.
We did. When I was in the school system, we would touch base a couple times a year. It was really an annual plan. But I'm going to be honest with you, they would be like, hey, pick 3 things or 5 things. But truthfully, they were picking 2 of the 3 or 4 of the 5, and I got to pick 1. And I don't like that. But we also try to keep it to no more than 3. I don't want to overwhelm them.
That's
and
smart.
we'll break that down into quarterly meetings as well. And we also make it very clear, we don't want just shop goals. One I wanted to be, better alignment. So we got set up with Hunter, sent him out to the alignment training. We actually brought Hunter into the shop, did some training there. Another one was, I'd really like to learn how to use a picoscope really good. Mm-hmm. We invested, we brought some training in for that. But like Christy was saying, we've got some that, I want to get this nest egg built up. Okay, well, what's that going to look like? So I see you bringing some, going out and grabbing fast food. Well, let's talk about packing your lunch. Mm-hmm. We've got the break area. Come on in. We're eating together often. We're trying to provide for them. We're trying to come up with other ways as well that we can help them just be better people.
Yeah.
They're great. Don't get me wrong, but we can always improve.
Love that.
So,
One of the coolest things that we figured out when we first did this was a lot of the goals that they were setting matched up with each other. One person's strength with another person's weakness. Mm. And so we kind of matched them up on that. And you know how a lot of, it's just a mindset of anybody, but especially of technicians, is like, oh my gosh, I don't want somebody to be better than me, right? I don't want to help too much. No matter what profession it is, we all have that little healthy competition in us. But they were so willing to like help each other. Like we have one that's like phenomenal at write-ups, and maybe another one's not. Like, hey, you need to go work with this person so that you can really improve your write-ups, because this is what is really getting the job done for up front, right? That's helping up front. And that's been really cool to see them naturally partner up, because now they know each other's strengths and they know each other's weaknesses, and it's not a competition.
I love that. That's, I believe that recognition is the best ROI in leadership. Being able to recognize each other and to highlight each other and to honor each other and to encourage each other. That's why I have this 1-to-3 ratio rule when it comes to recognition, where for every one piece of corrective action you're going to give somebody, where you're trying to coach them and hopefully they receive it as feedback and not criticism, condemnation, and judgment, but for every one piece of corrective action, give them 3 pieces of encouragement, 3 words of encouragement, 3 things that they're doing really well. And who better to model for them what servant leadership looks like than you two? So they have, it's no surprise that they're going to be willing to go and help each other with a level of healthy competition, because they see how rewarding it is for you. They know how rewarding it is. Like, people who don't regularly serve someone or help someone go out of their way to really exercise the spirit of community and growth and development through servant leadership. Until you do it, you can't really describe the feeling that you get. It's so rewarding, and it's infectious. Like, you can't, it's contagious. Like, once I do it, it's like, I can't, this is addicting. Like, I can't not do this anymore. Kristy, you touched on a question that I like to ask every guest on this episode, which is, what does leadership mean to you? And when I say you touched on it, you talked about how your definition of leadership, or you talked a lot about empowerment. Yes. You're empowering your team. I'll just ask the question, and whether it's you, Benji, or you, Kristy, to elaborate on what you started, what does leadership mean to you? How would you answer that question?
I'll add, I just think it's empowering others. It's giving others an opportunity to empower themselves. You can add to that.
I think my biggest thing with leadership is you don't have to have all the right answers.
Preach.
Man, my team, they know that. Yeah, I don't know it. I absolutely don't know it, but we're going to find out together.
Yeah.
Don't act like you have to know everything. To be a leader, you don't.
Yeah.
It's about helping everyone get there.
Yeah.
There's
awesome.
no I in team.
No.
That's right.
And the team at our shop, the team all knows that they have a say.
Yep.
Yeah.
We very much preach an open door policy, and they know that, and they will tell you real quick, hey man, if you need something, you need to go up there and talk. Go talk to them. Go talk to Benji. Go talk to Kristy. Whatever. They know if they come to us, dude, we're gonna listen.
Yeah. Again, the best ability for a leader is availability. Open door policy. You make yourself available. Something I don't think I've ever shared this with you, but at the Fueling Connections event, we did a training one day, and the following day was a panel, and we had kind of a roundtable type of discussion with a large room of folks. And Callie Grace, your daughter, and Cody, your son, were both in that room with both of you.
Right. And
they do a phenomenal job of carrying the room and really making their presence felt. And I was looking specifically at you, Benji, because Cody said something. He got real passionate all of a sudden about it.
He did. I remember.
Like, I forgot what the topic was, but he got real passionate about it, and he finally just said, and he just kind of went on this like professional rant, if you will. And man, you had such a proud father kind of look on your face, and I don't blame you. Like, not only was he spot on in what he said, like, I liked his level of conviction, but I want to just highlight the fact that I see how, when you talk about empowering your team, I'm talking about your kids here in this particular moment, but Joe was also at Joe, right? No,
our middle son.
No, sorry, your service manager.
Oh, Frank.
No, I'm not. Sorry, not Frank. Justin Arnett.
Justin.
Yeah,
Yep.
I knew it was a J. Justin.
Justin was our senior techs.
Justin was also there, right? Mm-hmm. But these guys are regularly speaking up, and you're like, you're almost like just backing up and saying, you guys take it. You got
right.
the floor. And this is where I see you being leaders, developing other leaders. There are leaders creating leaders at your shop. That's the type of culture that I think every shop deserves. And I believe that culture, like my definition of culture is very simple. It's values plus behavior. Specifically, core values. Core is Latin for heart, which means it's coming from within. It's intrinsic. It's who you are.
Yes.
So values plus behavior, and beliefs drive behavior. Speak to the listening audience about the type of culture you've been able to create and cultivate, and what advice would you give to someone who is struggling with culture and one step that they can take to improve it?
The biggest step back a little bit.
Okay.
Take time to actually listen to your team and not just listen to what you want to hear. Listen to understand. Don't listen to respond.
There you go.
One of the biggest things that we've done, our daily huddles. We do a daily huddle in the morning. We do a daily huddle in the afternoon. We have lunch together every Friday. We are either cooking something or we're bringing food in for everyone on Fridays. We're locking that door. We're going to spend about an hour and a half or so every Friday. We're going to talk about our wins. We're going to talk about our struggles. That's been huge. But, you know, when someone comes to you and they ask you for something and you tell them that you're going to get it, be a man of your word.
Say what you mean what you say.
Absolutely. Absolutely. A man is only as good as his word. So when my team asks me for something, we try to provide it, period.
Benji, let me ask you this, because what you just shared, I mean, I'm a big believer in this. You talked about daily huddles, not just in the morning, but also in the afternoon. Yes. You're locking your doors for an hour and a half, lunch every Friday. And I know someone's listening saying, well, I can't afford to do that. I mean, I can't afford to do that.
You can't
I can't afford not to.
Come on.
I can't afford not to. So I'm going to go one step further on the daily huddle. So this was something that we started. We now have another service advisor who's been with us for going on a year now. So we've put him in charge of the huddles.
Love that.
You're going to come in the mornings. Listen, I want you two, our two service advisors, in the afternoons. Y'all kind of know where we're at, know what we got the next day. Frank, you're in charge of the huddles every morning. So these going to come out about a 10-minute huddle. All right, this is what we had left over. This is what we've got coming in today. I need you on this, you on this, you on this. Man, he has taken control of that, and he has ran with it.
Love that.
That has built his confidence. That has built the team's confidence in him. So just by stepping back, pulling myself out, I don't want to be in charge of this. Put the other one in. Tag me in.
That is the whole purpose of delegation. It's growth and development through empowerment. And I like that you just said something in regards to being in charge of something or not being in charge of something. As a leader, it's going to sound maybe a little controversial, but I believe that as a leader, you should not be in charge of anything, but you're responsible for everything. So you're not in charge of anything because you're delegating authority to different team members across your team. This person's championing that process. This person's championing this process. Frank is championing the daily huddles. You're no longer in charge of it, but you're responsible for the outcome of it. And you can feel good and confident and comfortable, and you can sleep at night because you know that you keep on pouring into and investing in your team, and they've got it because you step back.
Can I also say, though, as someone who struggled really hard letting go of that control, keep in mind, it wasn't that long ago. We were a one-man shop. I did the work, I did the writing, I did the towing, and now we've got 9 people there.
Wow.
Dude, that's tough.
Yeah.
But that came from coaching. That came from learning, look, you got to release the control. And I think Christy will say some of it came with age as well.
Yeah, some of it came with age.
You know,
because I see Cody is going through some of those same growing pains now that I remember his daddy going through. You know, that wanting things to be just so, and it being difficult for him to give up control of things or delegate things.
Yeah.
So he's got to see that, you know, you're going to fail at some things in order to succeed at some things.
Yeah.
You've got to experience it.
Hero syndrome.
Yeah. I mean, it happens, but I watched his dad go through it too.
Yeah.
It's not nearly as
It's
bad
hard.
with Cody, but it
Man,
is.
it's hard. It is.
It is.
Apple doesn't fall far from the tree, huh, Benji?
No.
No. Beanie Benny.
Yeah, it's true.
So, Benji, you talked about coaching, and I like that you highlighted that. If you haven't listened to this podcast before, I typically share that I am a coach, but I also have my own coach. I work with a counselor. You guys know my wife is a licensed counselor. I get free counseling all the time, even when I don't want it.
Whether you want it or not.
Yeah, but she's good at it and I need it. Let me ask you, best advice that you've ever received from a coach or a mentor, what would you say to that?
When we're talking business, it would have to be to learn your numbers.
Okay.
You can't lead a shop from a creeper. Then you can't lead a shop from a front counter. And so Rick White with 180 Biz, he absolutely, I have told so many people at this event this weekend, this show changed my life. This show changed my family's life. We went from really struggling to getting to a good place, and in a pretty short amount of time whenever you're talking business. But you gotta learn your numbers. You gotta know your numbers. Pen's a whole lot more powerful than a wrench is. And so it took some time. It took some time to be able to back away and learn that delegation skill, because that is a skill.
Yeah.
There's a difference in delegating and saying, "Hey, go do this," and that's took a while.
And it's an ongoing skill.
It is.
I mean, there's still sometimes where you have to step back and remind him of, hey, you got to let it slide a little bit.
Sure.
Yep.
The biggest thing that I ever got, I'll just share it for everybody out there, because when I first went into teaching, my very first principal gave me a piece of paper on my first day at work, and it said, "Failure to prepare is preparing to fail." And she said, "You just need to stick this somewhere." She said, "Because there are going to be days when it's hard creating lesson plans and feeling like you can get it all done in a day, and there's going to be kids you don't meet, and you're going to become overwhelmed by trying to, go back and do that one thing to make it perfect." And she said, "You can't. So just leave this hanging up and think about all the different things it means to you, not what it means to me, what it means to you." That comment is so important. That phrase is so important in every aspect of life. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if it's your family. I don't care if it's your work. It doesn't matter. If you are failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail.
When the pressure's on, we don't rise to the occasion. We fall to our highest level of preparation. It is the name of the game. If we're going to be successful, we got to prepare.
Right.
Love that.
You have to have a healthy balance in everything you do.
Yeah.
Marriage, life, kids,
Yeah.
mentorship. You have to have a little dabble of everything, because all of those are experiences that build you to who you are. And if you're going to build up people and teach them to be leaders, then you have to be a dabbler to become a leader yourself.
Yeah. Love that. Very good. Burris fam, Benji, Christy, thank you so much for being on
Thank you
the
for having
Leadership
us.
podcast. Again, I mean, I can't say this enough. I know I tell you guys offline often, but I want to just I need to shout it from the rooftops. I love you both. I appreciate you both.
We love you
and
too.
You guys have been y'all have been great. And so thank you for being here.
Thank you. You have also been great.
Brother, I will
Thank you.
say you are awesome, and I feel like I'm a little bit better just because I know you. So we appreciate
Thank you, man.
everything you and your family, your beautiful wife, everything y'all do.
Thank you.
For not just us, but the industry as a whole.
Correct.
So
Thank you.
Y'all are awesome.
That means a lot. Thank you. And thank you for tuning in. Thanks again for tuning into the Limitless Leadership Podcast. Have a great day, everyone. Don't forget to smile today. Tell your loved ones how much they mean to you. I'm Josh Parnell, reminding you to keep leading well.